How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. To get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. All right, stop the intro, let's get to it. Let's get to party, baby. Let's talk about the market, let's talk about the trades, let's talk about all the fun I did not have on the market. Red on the month on a nice little losing streak. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. Just, I might not have edge. And I might need to rediscover the edge that I thought I once had. So, yeah, things are rough. Things are hard. But not to the point where, completely have to throw the baby and the bathwater. You can keep the baby for now, but the bathwater's gotta go. So, back to the drawing board. Bathwater's going out. We're still keeping the baby for now, and we're gonna see how that goes. But overall, slight red on the month now. That's fine. Nothing that I can't come out of. But there's only 4 more days left on the month, so it's yeah, that sucks. What else can we talk about? I guess we'll dive into my trades on the day, and then I'll talk you guys through what exactly happened and what I think needs to be done for myself to fix it. Hopefully, if you're struggling, then you can pick up a point or two on what I think I need to be doing to fix it, and then you can potentially do that to help yourself out, right? That's the point of this stream. I never said I was good at this shit, right? I'm showing you guys the journey, the struggle, the highs and the lows of being in this employment. Should I say employment? Should I say lifestyle, right? So just going to have to tough it out, be resilient, get back up, make sure that you have an edge, and then abuse it when you do. So let's talk about how today I did not have edge. Let's go to the full screen. Let's talk about today how your boy did not have any edge. Where the hell is... There we are. Here are my trades on the day. So let's go to my first trade on the day, which I believe was actually a small cap. So where is that? Right here. My first trade on the day was a small cap short, taking short around $18. It started to top out around 20, halted down. I was like, oh, okay, I'm in the money. What I should have done is taken some profits over there and then walked away from the trade. Instead, I added to, when it popped into VWAP and started going back lower, I added to it and then I got shaken out of the trade. Later, I got back into the trade, but then I didn't actually size to it because I got scared before, based off of what happened before. I was like, okay, the stock clearly bounced over here. There's a buyer. If there's a buyer here, there's a chance that this goes right back into 20, and then I might get a better short at the pre-market highs area, which is what happened somewhere in these areas. So all kinds of, you know, thought processes running over there, and then I just get a quick little scalp short over here on JG. Don't really manage to do anything here on this one. However, what I should have been doing is focusing on like Nvidia, you know, the AI names, some of the more in-play names. However, small cap off the open, I have way more edge on small cap off the open than I do on Nvidia or in-play names off the open. Based on my statistics, I just can't trade the open, especially for those stocks. But when it comes to small cap, it's a very simple trade. You're just waiting for the backside to show up, and then once the backside shows up, you're piling into the short. So it's a very simple trade for the small cap, and then you just wait for those patterns to play out off the open. So maybe what I need to do is focus more on small caps before 10 o'clock, and then look to just scalp in and out, in and out, in and out, take my profits, push big size, take my profits quick, and then, you know, if it doesn't work, quickly get out of the trade, especially when I'm on the right side of the V. When I'm on the back side, push big size and then take out, you know, that's your what, $1, $2, $3 in the money there, and you're not taking any profits, whereas you're only risking at best $1 or $2 back to the north side. So you're $3 in the money and you're risking maybe $1 back through. You should be taking profits there. So I didn't take any profits. So things like that. Got too greedy on this one. So this is how the day started for me. After here, I was like, oh my god, there's stocks just going absolutely wild. There's so much opportunity, you know, I need to be making money. So I just start hunting for opportunities across the board, and that's where the recipe for disaster comes through. So here we are with Microsoft. I'm seeing, you know, they're not actually down big time like Nvidia. Market's down 3%. Microsoft competes with AI directly, with OpenAI, with Anthropic, with their own AI deals and so on. So everything considered, I was like, okay, we have a nice pop from 420 to 422, but 420 to almost 429, 430 area, and I can see there's some selling into 430. So if I get short 429, give it above 430 as a stop, I should possibly be able to get a good move to the downside, especially with how weak the market is. So I'm short, I give it above 430, I don't get stopped out. I added to my position on what looks like some weakness, I still don't get stopped out. It flushes back down, and then you know, I'm seeing after it flushes down, breaks the previous range low and pops right back up. I'm like, okay, this is not really going lower. It does not want to sell off. Let me just take my profits. I give it one more tiny, teeny, weeny shot over here back into that very same 430 area. But realistically, you should not even be taking that trade, right? Because you can see how this clearly, the pattern has now breaking to the point where even if the stock was to go back to the downside after rejecting this area, the chances are it trades sideways because there's a clear buyer here in this area, and you can see how the low of that basically got held later on when the stock pulled back into VWAP and actually bounces. So things like these, you need to really analyze the nuances, the nuance in this area, something that I'm actually putting in my notes too. I'm lacking the ability to recognize the nuance while actually in the trade, the nuance that makes the trade good and the nuance that makes the trade bad. So in this case, I recognized the nuance that makes the trade bad for me, right? Which was it breaks the range low, and then it's just not able to have follow through. It's not able to even go to VWAP. So that's a nuance right there that kept me away from the opening drive short to see if it would ride with the market, and it didn't. The second nuance that I failed to recognize is how that very same low, until I'm talking about it to you. This is why, reviewing trades, even if you're doing it by yourself, obviously I would suggest you have a trade pod, somebody to talk to, somebody to run it through, but you can do what I'm doing. I'm talking to a bunch of people on YouTube. So go live, start talking to yourself. Maybe people will start watching you, and you can kind of have this kind of retrospective in hindsight, really seeing the patterns, and then hopefully in the future, the more you recognize this in hindsight, the more you'll start recognizing in foresight. So nice little dump here, back into that exact same low area, as you can see, right into that 427, 426.50. Multiple times tries to get below it, fails to do so, reclaims VWAP. This is a good spot to get long right there and risk the low of this area. That gives you a move straight back into a high a day, where it kind of has a little bit of a double top nature. You can see me trying to get short there, but the long, follow the trend. The trend is your friend. Just don't even look for the double top short here. It just doesn't make sense unless there is like a capitulation instead, right? So just a couple things that you might want to keep in the back of your head when you're doing your own reviews. So Microsoft first started off with the winner, then a flat trade, and then another flat trade on this one. Short SPY took a quick little short scalp on the S&P 500 after the SPY clearly looked strong off the open, but then later on got back below VWAP and looked like clearly it just traded sideways around VWAP until, if I remember correctly, the close. Or maybe if I remember correctly, I'm only remembering Nvidia. So Nvidia really sold off. My best trade of the day, AT&T. Earnings name, I did not know AT&T was at all-time high. Okay, I respect your game, AT&T, on a day where the market is down 3% to start off with. AT&T blasting off into a new all-time high off the open itself, and then ripping to the north side, and holding view up for the most part. 24 area holding. It breaks this little $24.10 resistance that it's been building for about an hour. So as soon as it breaks that, I get long. I have multiple opportunities to add more size. Ideally, you want to take less size on the breakout, and then on these dips, you want to continue adding as each dip continues to hold above 24.10. So that's a good sign for me that it held it. But I just took all my size on the breakout. AT&T is a slow name. You're also taking that breakout in the middle of the day, so more of a reason why you don't really want to be smashing that breakout with size. Like I did over there. Not that I took size, I'm just saying you don't want to be smashing the breakout with any types of real volume over there, because you will get easily fingerprinted by the bots, by the algorithms, and they'll just shove you out. That's not really meaning that it's going to go down, but they will just shove you out. So you want to be careful how you play this area in the middle of the day, especially on a boomer name like AT&T. But I was able to take some liquidity off the table and then put that liquidity to work for myself. Shout out to AT&T today. I did not think I was going to trade that name today. I did some bottom hunting. One of my scanners, which I'm actually going to turn off completely at the moment for the alerts. One of my scanners, delete. So these are actually not capitulation scanners, but they help you in a way with, identifying capitulation a little bit. But I'm going to just delete those because most of them are garbage. So APLD is one of them that it alerted to me. I tried to see if this was capitulation. It really wasn't at the end of the day. I guess it could have capitulated, right? It had a little bit of a volume candle higher than the last few candles. I'll guarantee that, I'll give it that. It also did drop, a certain percentage that my scanner was looking for. So all things considered, the scanner gave me what I was looking for, but this was just not capitulation. I might have to make tweaks to that scanner to see how to better find the right trades. Anyways, APLD, tried a nice little bottom hunt, didn't work. I tried the same thing on BTDR. Later on, I tried to flip short on BTDR on the break of the lower day, and that didn't really have any follow through. I stepped out of the trade, and then over here in this area, I was like, nah, I'm gonna stay away from it. That was the wrong decision, because I would have gotten $2 per share for risking about 50 cents. Just pure bad decisions across the table today. Okay, NNE. This one actually, I started off with one of the good trades on the board. Okay size too. Could have had way more size, obviously, but waited for NNE to go higher. Took the trend line break. So if you were to draw a trend line, something like this, took the trend line breakdown. Started covering into the day's low as the pop started to show up, but then I also added back size right back into the day's low as it broke down. But then I kept those stops tight. Tried to see if this area would give me some follow through back to the downside, but there really wasn't any more follow through, and then I basically turned the stock red. So horrible trading, and then I just stopped looking at it. This was the VWAP reject. If you were looking at VWAP, this is exactly where VWAP was, and the stock rejects VWAP and then just gives you a monster 25% move to the downside today. Exactly what you would be looking for if you were planning for it, like I was last night. But how did I play it out? Horribly. All right, Nvidia. Bottom hunting, fail. Bottom hunting, fail. Bottom hunting, fail. Over here, though, I'm just trying to front run size. So there was some size in front of 120. I tried to catch that. There was a little bit of size in front of 119. I was trying to see if 119 would hold. This looked a little capitulatory also. Eventually caught the capitulatory action, and I, traded the best I could out of it. So that one actually paid me a little bit, but not enough to help the day. Right? So those three trades, and the last two trades, AVGO, my manager called out a long in front of 204, so I tried that. That one got stopped out. And then later on in the day, I was trying to take the long above 200, but every time I would get entered into the long above 200, the stock would just struggle to hold to up 200 on the bid. So it just did not have the strength when I needed it. Much later, about even 30 to 40 minutes later, it actually starts to get above 200 and has some strength above 200. I'm guessing it's the same time when Nvidia actually bottomed out. So AVGO bottoms out eventually. And goes to the north side. Realistically, my whole day's trouble, my whole struggle today comes from this one stock. Forced my thesis way too hard. Obviously, I have a thesis, which is don't have a thesis. That's how I started. I started off last night with look for nuclear energy names, mean reversion, because that could be the #1 play. They worked out exactly as planned. OKLO and NNE. The second plan was to not have a plan at all and just play the price action on Nvidia, on whatever. If they're selling off and they're giving you a VWAP reject, awesome. If they're giving you a dip buy later on with the capitulation, awesome. If not, look to join the trend some way to the downside. So didn't do any of that. Came into the day very excited, very excited because the market was down already, and then Nvidia, already blowing up everything out of water. And the one thing that rang in the back of my head, I was like, wait, Meta is spending 10,000 times what DeepSeek spent, like 10,000 times. So if that's the case, shouldn't Meta get really slammed to the downside tomorrow, aka today? So shouldn't Meta really get slammed to the downside? Because Meta is spending that $60 billion to buy Nvidia stuff. Instead, Nvidia drops what, 17-20% to the downside, the biggest landslide a Magnificent Seven stock has had in a market cap in history, biggest landslide it has ever seen, to a company that actually makes 60 bill compared to the company who actually spends 60 bill. I can't wrap my head around it. And this is why, you know, it's better to not try to make sense out of it. You'll go crazy. The market will stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. And clearly that's the case for me today. Tried to force the short way too much off the open. Just way too hard off the open. Failed once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Failed. Later on, tried to catch the top. I did catch the top technically, but I traded that poorly. Once I did not catch the top, basically, technically did not catch the top, right? Once I did not catch the top, I was too hesitant to try the other 3 times where it was basically giving you a triple top, right? Failed to do that. And then much later, I was able to get a quick little long scalp out of it. That's a flat trade. That's a flat trade. I basically only make money on 1 lot size. So overall, garbage. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your streamer, TraderPrad, down 1.4%. Lack of edge or lack of understanding how to play the edge. Lack of the nuance recognition to stay away from setups and for the ones to smash. Making up setups off the open is also a big hit in the PNL. I have 0 edge off the open. Need to stop trying for the open until I have clear-cut rules of what to look for. Hands off till 10 a.m. And then later on in the day, you can see obviously I actually have setups like the VWAP continuation. Later on in the day, I actually have you know, high day double top shorts or you know, going flip back under VWAP trades. So I have other setups that have proven to be profitable for me. Instead, it's this infatuation of the open. Ooh, I gotta slam the open. I gotta be the Nvidia trader of the open. Fuck, man, I just gotta stop trading the open. So the goal is hands off till 10 a.m. Don't touch the keyboard till 10 a.m. Try not to have FOMO before 10 a.m. What I could do is just trade my small cap playbook before 10 a.m. Trade my small cap playbook, make money on the small cap stocks, and then after 10 a.m. is where I start to really take advantage of my playbook and take advantage of my setups, which I need to dive deeper into. So one of the homeworks today, probably either on stream or off stream, I'm not sure, I'll be going through all of the charts that I have cataloged previously, and then I'll be looking for what the nuances are. For example, this nuance right here, whereas the stock, big drop to the downside, pops back up, rejects VWAP, higher low, pops back into VWAP, double tops, pops above, but that gets slammed right back down. So on this 2-minute candle, the stock could not hold 12 above the bid at all. Tried to get above 12, got to maybe 1275, let's say, failed to get above 1275, and then got slammed back down. And then the next 2-minute candle, what happened? The next 2-minute candle, what happened? The next 2-minute candle, what happened? Okay, so that was a clear breakout fail. Sellers are still aggressive in this area, and then the buyers are gonna have to, you know, prove that they are able to hold the stock up. The stock also had an offering, another catalyst to maybe look for the shorts more than looking for the long. So the stock also had an offering right off the open. So all of these nuances, you want to be able to, you know, understand these little nuances and then make a mental log of them, and every time you see them, you want to be able to smash them. Over here, look at this. You know, one bottom, this is not really where you go long. We got a nice consolidation, you know, another wick low coming into the same 2-minute chart, another wick low on the 2-minute chart. Clearly we got a buyer around 640. This is happening off the open also. So clearly we got a buyer off of 640, and this is happening at the exact time that the market was getting slammed yesterday and possibly even breaking the low a day around this time, or potentially breaking the a low a day, but having a false break a low a day, and then moving back higher and moving to VWAP at that time, and then later on rejecting VWAP and then going back lower. My memory too good. So, you know, the stock over here at that point announced they were doing a 60 billion market cap, or capital expenditure in the AI world. This was before the DeepSeek craziness happened. So once you understand these little nuances, like look at that, it tried to go higher, got slammed down. After getting slammed down, it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes to go up, but it only took 2 minutes to come right back down. But then after that, it managed to stay above 640. If you're managing to actually spot this, if you can spot that right there, this is where you can start building some position. Once you see it's getting back above VWAP and creating a higher low. After that drop, it creates a higher low. After that drop, it creates another higher low. Really understand the nuance, the time that it takes to even set up for this trade. Usually, how I am playing is a way more aggressive pattern, and my manager actually calls me out for this, and I'm actually realizing it now that I'm talking out loud about it, right? So the pattern, usually what I play for is when he says it, I don't understand that, but now when I'm talking out loud, I'm understanding it, because the way I add into a trade here, this is what I need. And the way I trade too, because I'm usually out of most of my size here, and then I'm upset for not capturing it because I'm not getting that sharp V-shape bounce. But that's not the setup that I'm had. The setup is, you know, this is a setup, and that process right here in this area takes a while. It doesn't happen in 15 minutes. It doesn't happen in 30 minutes. Sometimes it takes an hour. So you got to be able to recognize the pattern that you're playing for. And my manager also says this: you got to visualize the pattern that you want to see on the chart. So when you, ideally, I would have loved to go long right here yesterday, but instead I went long here. I still managed to get some out of that trade, but not all out of it. So really understanding the nuances, this is the homework that I'll be doing probably for the next few days. If I need to have time first. So for that means I'm done with this stream. No more streaming tonight after no, I'm joking. I'll do a couple nuance studies with you guys. Here's another one. EA Sports, I think this was day 2. Yes, this was day 2. The day before this, they announced their guidance was going to be lower, and they were going to report horrible on their upcoming earnings report. So day 2, stock opens up around day 1's earnings report guidance VWAP, which is the white anchored VWAP, starts to sell off. Starts to settle into this 116, 117 line that I have drawn. That line I can't remember right off the bat, but I'm guessing that's the, I'm not even gonna guess. Anyways, you know, starts to settle around this area, breaks the low a day, pops back, but then rejects around that area again, and that area happens to be the VWAP also. And at the same time, if you go into the 5-minute chart, that area is okay, a little bit above the 20-day moving, 21 EMA. So you could basically risk these little pops or the 21 EMA as your hard stop, and then you're getting short in that on the break of that range over there, or you're offering into the pops over here to see if you can get lucky and catch some fills, and then you get a nice second leg ride to the downside, a capitulatory long, I guess not really capitulatory, but a nice little failed break of yesterday's low where you could have gotten long, and that's actually a trade that I took on my own. This is a long over here, and then you get a nice little move right back into VWAP and a little bit above VWAP also for how much you're risking to the for the reward you're getting on this trade. This trade is actually much worse, or I guess depending on where your entry is. Same thing over here, but if you're getting in, let's say 116.60, you're still risking 117 over here. But in this case, if you're getting in, let's say 115.45, which is what I got in, and you're risking 115, you're kind of getting the same thing out of it. They're both kind of B trades. The win rates are about the same, a little bit higher than 50 for both of them, but not like much higher than 50. They're both coin flips at the end of the day, so you can just give them 50% win rates, and then the EV you're calculating based on the reward and the risk. So little nuance study for the VWAP continuation trades. I want to also quickly take a look at maybe some opening range breakouts, because I suck at this. But this is after like 10 o'clock. Yeah, see, this happens after 10 o'clock. This is why I say, dude, stop trying for 10 o'clock or pre 10 o'clock market trades on these stocks. Like, what does this happen? After 10. Opening range break after 10. Awesome. What is this? This is a small cap. Ignore that. Opening range break. This happens damn near after 11 o'clock. This is the only one that happened a little bit before 10, around 9:45. This is a small cap, ignore that. Citigroup. It's happened earnings name, so you can kind of keep an eye on this a little bit more for the opening break if you want to. But you know, not as high priority because, you know, stupid bank. It's a bank at the end of the day. Opening range break low. I actually remember taking this trade myself. Okay, so nuances for opening range break seems a little bit simpler, but VWAP continuation are the ones that I really needed to do a little bit more homework on. The money trade. These are the ones that take out the pre-market high. But right now the market's, you know, not really strong, so you want to be careful trading the setup at the moment. You want to be a little careful trading the setup at the moment. Just gonna let you guys know on that one. All right. Let's go to the watch list. Life-changing volatility. Yeah, that is for sure. What is the VIX at right now? What is the VIX at? Turn this garbage off. The VIX is at 17. I thought it was at 21. It was, but then it dropped quite a bit, huh? Dropped quite a bit. Oh, fuck, you know what? Oh, god damn it. On my walk from the bus to my work, I literally said that the trade of the day today is shorting volatility. I literally said the trade of the day today is shorting volatility. God damn it, dude. The trade of the day was indeed shorting volatility. The thing is, guys, look, the problem is I know what to do, but what I'm lacking is the disciplines and the patience. The discipline and the patience. I wanted to say patience and discipline, but I fucking screwed that up. The discipline and the patience to wait for the trigger of my setup to enter. The discipline and the patience to sit on my hand and do nothing when nothing is coming to play. When nothing is coming. When nothing is actually setting up. Do nothing at all. Just sit on your hands and do fucking jack shit all. The fucking... man. It's like... You know, you feel like you're on the edge of cracking the breakthrough and really punching through, but then you start doing stupid shit and you just feel like you start having like all these doubts. Are you even good? Is this even for you? You know, this job is just, you know, the highs and the lows, man. The highs and the lows. It's just so much. What software is that, Prad, where you keep the notes? Yeah, it's called Notion. Thank you, Dieter. Thank you. Ironically, the Chinese stock market did not rally. Well, that's because they're closed, right? There's the Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year, I'm pretty sure. So markets closed for them. But the Chinese stocks, however, had a pretty good day. Let's go take a look at China. China had a pretty okay day today. QFIN, which is an AI name for Chinese stocks, they had a pretty good day. Oh, Dieter, I wanted to talk to you about this. You remember the tool that we built, or at least I built and I gave to you. I don't think this is correct. So what this does, obviously, is you know, for those of you who don't know, only Dieter and I know at the moment, but you can read it right there. It says distance from VWAP in SD, which means standard deviation. But if you put in, let's put in NVIDIA. Okay, let's put in NVIDIA. If you put in NVIDIA, go to your VWAP settings. And you can go to upper band 2, lower band 2, and then put that as a multiplier of 2 for standard deviation. So that means 2 standard deviations, right? Or does that mean... I think that means 2 standard deviations. This means 1 standard deviation. That's 2, and that's 3. So if that's the case, right here... Okay, it is correct. Okay, that is correct. No, it's not. Because see how this, it says over here that is 5 or almost 6 standard deviations to the low side, but if you actually look at where the cursor is on the chart itself, maybe we go to the 5-minute here. But if you go to the chart itself, that says 4. You see what I mean? Right? That's almost 4 standard deviations, it says. But right here on NVIDIA, it says this is actually 2 standard deviations. It is correct on my SMA and EMA standard deviation. I'm not sure. You know, I think you can actually also put in standard deviations for the moving averages itself. So let me go to one of my scripts page where I can manipulate this, and you can have bands on this one itself, right? Bollinger Band standard deviation. Wait, what the hell is this one? Yeah, you can just have upper Bollinger Band, lower Bollinger Band on this, and then you can just set this one to, let's say, you know, 21 EMA. 21 EMA. Go to the 5-minute. Where my bands at, boy? Right, so you can still get the same standard deviation bands on those two. So I don't think these are needed, or even if these are accurate. However, I'll leave them on for now. But what I recognized is you can get standard deviation directly from the VWAP setting itself. Anyways, I just wanted to mention that to Dieter. I'm pretty sure I could have done that in private messages and not waste 13 minutes of your time, everyone in chat over there. Let's go to some of the stocks that moved today. So obviously, semiconductor stocks got beat down quite a bit. If DeepSeek can train AI models for much cheaper, for $6 million compared to $60 billion of of what Meta wants to spend, right? If DeepSeek can spend $6 million and train much better AI off of the already trained Llama models and already trained OpenAI models and so on, that just shows you that AI is not that expensive anymore, and NVIDIA is not going to be able to gatekeep the industry from people. So that means more companies will start to create their own AI agents. It's going to be way more accessible. Everyone's going to have potentially, you know, more access to AI than previously thought. So it's just going to be awesome at the end of the day for humans, but not a good thing for companies who are, providing these features, the hardware, maybe even the software, maybe not the software for now, but the hardware, the technology that powers it, the whole thing. So Nvidia, semiconductors, people are skeptical now. Do we even need nuclear reactor energies to power these companies that people were previously in works to building? Is that even needed anymore? So all kinds of questions coming in. So yeah, SMR, OKLO, NNE taking a big hit. You also got other AI names and also other energy names taking a hit, such as CEG, VST, quantum names. Is that quantum names? I'm not sure what this is. Actually, it looks like drug name. Positive data up 26%. AT&T up 6%. A bunch of other stocks over here with crypto relations, which are down to the downside. APLD down 27% with other tech stocks and DeepSeek concerns. Looks like a AI name over there. I traded it, so I should know. The VIX, obviously, we talked about that one, and notable earnings to come up tomorrow, pre-market / tonight. No real earnings that came up tonight for us to talk about. You actually at no earnings at all for us to talk about tonight, but tomorrow there are some names that you want to keep an eye on: Boeing, General Motors, Lockheed Martin, RTX, and RCL. Maybe even JetBlue if you're that interested to really make your watch list and your life harder. So put that in your watch list too. It's on mine. And tomorrow after hours, you got the Starbucks, Logitech reporting after hours. Stride, is that what I think about? No, I don't think that is what I'm thinking about. Anyways, Starbucks and Logitech reporting tomorrow after hours. We'll see how those two play out. Deep Strike sounds more like the title of Tom Clancy's novel that it's Deep Seek, not Strike. Deep Seek. Their AI is actually really good. Dieter and I were playing with the AI all weekend before this news even really blew out of proportion. So Dieter and I were playing with the AI on Friday night, Dieter, and then Saturday everything started to blow out of proportion, and then Sunday you have all these people talking about possible downside, then the market actually gaps lower. So we were actually ahead of the curve a little bit. So shout out to you and me, Dieter. Also, I don't think you can even make a DeepSeek account anymore. Now you need to have a Chinese account. So you and I, we have an account already, but somebody was telling me, I'm not sure if this is true. Let's see if it actually is. Oh no, you can still use your Google. Who people lied to me. Only log in via Gmail or a phone number through. Okay, gotcha. No, people can still log in, but you have to log in with a phone number with the Chinese number, or you have to log in with your Gmail, email, Google, or thing. So you can use your email too, but I guess it has to be Chinese email only. But I did it with Google, and I was able to log in with Google. I tried it, it not work. Yeah, man, it worked, dog. What I mean? Let me show ya. It worked real good. I like it. Me and Dieter have been playing with it. Pretty good. You can see how I have a bunch of programs here already coded. I love it. It's not really good with English and stuff, but it's really good with programming and coding. I would suggest you to play with it if you're interested in programming and coding, and especially in creating indicators for TradingView. Amazing. For example, my RVol indicator over here, this volume indicator, actually this was coded in Grok, but you can also code things like this in that software. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what to expect from tomorrow. I mean, obviously a bounce is probably the most expected opportunity tomorrow after today's performance on the market, right? Market also closed a little bit higher at the end of the day. After the sell-off, that sell-off got bought, and we did close a little bit higher, which is bullish. But is this a pop to resell into, right? Is this a pop to resell into, or is this very much like that August sell-off that the market had in 2024, where the August recession, as I call it, lasted for about how long? The August recession lasted for like what, 10 days? So is this going to be the August recession where DeepSeek is going to pop the AI bubble for a little bit, and then the bubble is going to start getting inflated again? They're going to put Flex Seal, they're going to put that invisible seal tape on there, you know, the Flex Seal seal back on there, and then they're gonna start blowing back the bubble into the crazy proportions, or even higher proportions than it previously was? Or is this going to really hurt Nvidia's top line and bottom line? You know, it's no longer going to have that crazy empire that it previously once had. Now you can even use AMD chips to train AI instead of just using Nvidia chips to use AI. People are saying things like that online. So if that's the case, you know, possible downside for Nvidia and some upside for other semiconductor names that were beat down a lot, such as AMD and other stocks and so on. So right now, when it comes to expecting tomorrow, just don't expect anything, right? Don't expect anything. Just play the price action. For the most part, I think Nvidia could play within today's ranges. Nvidia was really weak. I would not like to see Nvidia below today's low, but if it does get below today's low, that is absolute doomsday on it, right? So we are below the 200-day moving averages, EMA and the SMA, and then potentially going into the 100 psychological even dollar area for testing supports. At that point, I think you'll see a lot of buyers come in, potentially even buyers like me, my dad, and you know, a bunch of other buyers. Here's previous earnings VWAP. Here's the previous earnings VWAP before that. Here's another earnings VWAP. So you can see how I don't have a year-to-date VWAP, do I? Maybe I should throw one. Yeah, maybe I should have a year-to-date VWAP too, just to see how last year's VWAP actually. Let me throw one right now. Okay. So year-to-date VWAP. What? And that ends at 100. Okay. Look at that. Last year's year-to-date VWAP ends at 100. So let's see if the best price for last year gets tested, and if it does, how does it bounce off of that area? So I'm not gonna be surprised if Nvidia goes towards $100 over the next few. I'm not gonna say. Let me turn these off. I don't want those. Over the next few weeks and so on. How does Nvidia behave going into that area? Good. And now I have a year-to-date VWAP. Yay. Okay. Going through my watch list here. Boeing. I think there could be a trade, especially if Boeing gets above 182. Boeing has had a lot of trouble, though. They did say that they're going to miss by quite a bit on their earnings report. If I remember correctly, they said they're going to miss by quite a bit on their earnings report. Their previous earnings anchored VWAP is right now at 159.10. That's from 22nd of October. Is it 22nd, 23rd of October? So that anchored VWAP is around 159. Let's see if that one comes into play. Look at Build-A-Bear Workshop 5-year chart. Bro, why am I looking at BBWI? Is it BBWI? What is Build-A-Bear? Build-A-Bear. Why are we looking at Build-A-Bear? Did you just buy your girlfriend a Build-A-Bear with that Trump trade money that you got or something? Like, why are we looking at Build-A-Bear, bro? This guy made too much money from the Trump trade and now he wants to spend it all into Build-A-Bear? No, stay away from Build-A-Bear. Well, I don't know if there's an actual rule behind it. If there's any rule behind it, then yeah, maybe trade it. It does 0 volume for me to really care about it for a day trade. It doesn't do a lot of volume. Okay. Palantir. So obviously the AI bubble. If that's the case, Palantir, should have trouble into the pops. So keep an eye on this one. Oracle, another name. Big slam on Oracle. Boy, oh boy. Right back into the 200-day moving average where it first started the move from. That is insane. Anyone who got caught long, obviously on the wrong side, and they had to answer their questions as to where the stops were. So, oh my, Oracle, these AI names got hurt real bad today. WFC looking great for a breakout long, coming up very soon above 78/78.30. So if WFC can get above $78 to $78.30 and show some buying above it, that is a long I'm interested in, especially if the market is green tomorrow. Citibank looking like a long, not really. Morgan Stanley getting ready for a breakout a little bit, but not yet. American Airlines was holding up today. United Airlines was holding up today. Meta was holding up today. Microsoft was holding up today. Now, I wouldn't say holding up for Microsoft, but Microsoft was doing pretty decent. Amazon right back into all-time high territories. So there are stocks, even though the market was red, there are stocks that did pretty decent. Apple, I was thinking about Apple, not Microsoft, sorry. Apple bounced hard, up 3%, up $7, while the market's down, what, 3%? Apple doing the complete opposite of it. It's like people are re-rotating into Apple. Now that the AI bubble has popped, all the money that went from Apple into Nvidia and into AI stocks are getting pulled out from AI and put back into Apple. So all kinds of re-rotation into positions, and gotta keep an eye on how these themes are playing out. One theme that is still intact actually is the space theme. So if you go down to obviously the China theme is obviously intact. Airline theme, the space theme. Where the hell is my space basket? There you go. Okay, they're not intact, but keep an eye on the space theme over here. RKLB not too far to the downside today. Yeah, it's down 3%, but holding off really well above 28. And if it gets below 28, that changes things, right? That changes things. That's actually 28.50. RKLB, if we get below 28.50, you're keeping an eye on that bad boy right there. Let me throw an alert right here. Yeah. That's good. PL. Lower volume. Actually did 9 million shares. Not bad. Bounced back and held 5. Not bad. But I'm not expecting like an explosive move tomorrow. So I'm not really going to care about it too much. SoFi got slammed back down on earnings day. Thank you, market. Fuck you, market. PayPal looking strong over there. We already looked at Wells Fargo. JP Morgan does not want to look weak at all. Okay, JP. JetBlue reports earnings tomorrow, and that is a little of an interesting level right there. The $8 to $8.30. Potentially opening up a little bit higher than that if they report well. I don't know what happened to my throat. Potentially opening up higher than that if they report well, but I think 935 is going to be a little bit more important area to keep an eye on. So I'll keep 830, and then above 830, 930. Okay, seems like the stock plays within 30 cents as the high-end ranges. RCL, do they report tomorrow too? They do, and RCL's at $250. What? Talk about a recovery. What? I mean, that's insane. I didn't know RCL was at 250. That's kind of insane. RCL, what is your PE, brother? And these guys also report tomorrow. PE of 24, not that expensive. Guys making profits these days? I guess after COVID, you guys are really raking in money. People used to call these companies petri dishes on water. But now, you're just money printing machines apparently. So watching 260 on RCL to the upside, watching 220.50 to the downside. Let's just say 220 to 220.50 to the downside on RCL. Pre-market earnings report will be very important for those names, obviously. These names are probably another high priority name to keep an eye on. So energy names, so SMR, CEG, LNG, OKLO, NNE. So watching the energy names, watching to see how they react on pops to today's VWAP. So that's for sure in play names right there. Energy name LMT reports tomorrow, and you know, these ones have taken quite a bit of a beating thanks to Elon Musk. So if RTX has not really taken that big of a beating, but LMT has. So if you know, they report bad or they report contract drops, these could drop even more. So keep an eye on these names over here. Boeing, obviously we talked about that real quick. Besides that, I'm not really seeing anything that is standing out to me on the watch list as you know, you really want to keep an eye on this. So the sectors, the themes, the ideas are still intact. The plays are still there. For example, quantum names, you could still wait for a pop into $12 to short QUBT, or you can wait for a breakout of 12 to get long on QUBT, RGTI, IonQ. So, you know, the same levels, the same plays, $8 on RCAT. The same plays that you know, we've been talking about from yesterday, from last month, from last week, are all in play still, and potentially in old levels again, except for Meta, which is in new levels. Tesla finally breaking down from that range low. Today popped into that range high, or I should say range low, and rejected from that range low perfectly. That's exactly the short you want right there. So popped into that range low, double topped into that range low, and gave you a beautiful short from last week's low. So bang bang skeet skeet. All you had to do was short that bad boy. Did I do it? No. I was hesitant. I was scared. Pussy. All right, so that was the trade today, basically. Tomorrow there is IPO. Tomorrow is an IPO. So quickly, let's talk about this IPO, which is which one is it? SFD, Smithfield Foods. Wait, why does that sound familiar? What do these guys do? Chinese? Why does it say Chinese? Operates as an independent subsidiary of a Chinese multinational conglomerate, WH Group. Okay. How are you a private company who's public at the same time? Oh, you're IPOing. I'm so stupid. I'm like, my brain's just not working right now. Oh my god. I'm like, wait, how is it private, but I'm gonna trade you tomorrow? Yes, because it's IPOing tomorrow. Okay. My brain was just not functioning. A Chinese conglomerate company, an American company owned by a Chinese conglomerate, going public tomorrow. Founded in 1936, 89 years ago. Wow. Okay, revenue down, operating income down, net income down, total assets down, total equity up. Number of employees in 2016 was 50,000 people. Not looking good. Not looking good. Okay, farm products, consumer staples, now down to 36,000 employees compared to 50,000 in 2016. Deal amount 870 million. It was supposed to be 1 billion. It's no longer 1 billion. It's 870 million. Wah. Okay. Price of 23 to 27. Okay, and now do they make money? 9 billion enterprise value. Okay, PE 15, so you do make profits, but from what we saw, your profits are declining by quite a bit. Let's go take a look at a couple other numbers here. The main number I care about are the financials year over year. 15, 16, 14, and drop again. So you are declining. And that's what Wikipedia also told us. Your revenues are declining, my friend. Not really looking good. From 2015 till now, you're just on a nice little slope to the downside. So the value for this company, as people might be fighting for the price tomorrow, might actually keep going lower and lower. So the higher the stock opens above 27, the more I want to be looking for the short if there's liquidity tomorrow. So watching for this stock, seeing how it IPOs, the more liquidity it has off the open and the higher it opens, the more interested I am for the short. Looks like mainly for fresh pork, packaged pork, and besides that I don't really see anything else. Blue chip global customers. Okay, pork only, eh? All right. Yes, so that is all she wrote. One last thing. Econ calendar. It's tomorrow Wednesday? No, tomorrow Tuesday. So Wednesday, we actually have FOMC, if I remember correctly. Yes, we have interest rate decisions on Wednesday. What a spicy week, because not only do we have interest rate decisions on Wednesday, we have Tesla, Meta, Microsoft reporting Wednesday. What a crazy day Wednesday is going to be. So tomorrow, going into FOMC, obviously with some earnings names on board and all kinds of craziness the market already exposed us to today. Let's see what happens tomorrow with a little bit of a milder earnings econ calendar. Milder econ calendar. You have the 7-year bond auction. You have the consumer confidence at 10 o'clock. That's a 3-star event. You have the durable goods at 8:30. That's another 3-star event. But there is no FOMC tomorrow, which is on Wednesday. So not sure. Usually, ChatGPT for investors is here. That's funny. Usually, it's a little bit slower going into FOMC, but with the craziness the market's having right now, I'll probably be wrong saying that the volatility's got juiced a little bit. So with the volatility in the market, enjoy it. Maybe size down a little bit and then just enjoy the volatility. Get in, get out, get in, get out, get in, get out. Enjoy the volatility while it's there. This is where day traders should be making, real money. This is day traders paradise when the volatility is presented to you. And on that note, I will end it for you guys and wish you guys the best tomorrow. Not really any stocks to plan for or talk about. My watch list is too small and I kind of just quickly ran through it for you. So, it's a small watch list. I'm going to be very focused on basically the same names that moved around today and some small cap names. And on that note, TraderPrad out. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. Peace. What? Why am I back to the screen? great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, TraderSync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.